Did you guys buy any of the Commander Precons?
I bought the Rakdos one, and me and Matt are going to draft it.
That deck has potential once you fuck with, but out of the box, it is horrible.
It's a pile of dog shit. Sounds about right.
Well, especially when you go up against the Naya deck. The Naya deck out of the box just stomps
so
face.
Good. Yeah, the Naya deck has some heaters just straight out of the gate.
The only card I legitimately want from that set is the fucking one that makes eggs.
The Naya, out of that Naya deck.
Yeah.
You know what that reminds me? I need to go buy some singles out of that.
I thought you were going to say you needed eggs.
Yeah, that's what that reminds me.
I need to go buy eggs.
I'll be right back. I gotta go get some eggs.
We're going to have to put this on hold for 15 minutes while Cory runs to the corner store, goes, buys a dozen eggs, comes back, makes an omelet, and get back to business.
Actually, after the podcast, I'm going to go to the store and literally get eggs. So
That's great.
So Matt wants eggs, Cory wants eggs. That's just all we need.
Well, at least now when people talk about like an egg deck, you know, they won't talk about that shitty masturbatory deck.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. Now eggs has a whole different
or...
connotation in Magic.
Yeah, you don't jerk off for 25 minutes and go to the store. You don't blue ball yourself.
To be fair, I've seen plenty of Commander games where somebody jerks off for 20 minutes and then just blue balls themselves.
Are you playing against Louis C.K. or what?
Yeah. No, he gets to come.
What is up, you gingerbread sympathizers? Welcome back to another episode of the Fest and Shock podcast. I am your host, the bear whose porridge is too hot, Tyler. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, the bear whose porridge is too cold, Matt. And our special guest today, his porridge is just right. And it is Cory. Cory, welcome back.
Wow.
What's up, fellas? I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, our official third member of the Fetch and Shock family.
I love it, dude.
Is you coming back a second time that you're just indoctrinated into the gang?
Yeah, I feel like I'm cheating on my other podcast, but you know, they're like out of state, so if it's a different zip code, then it's all good.
Yeah, that makes sense. That math checks out.
Yeah.
Got a pork of 4 to enjoy a 10.
Wait, so his podcast is the 4 and we're the 10?
Sure. We'll go with that.
Whatever makes you feel better.
Yeah. I just want to clear the air on that one before we move on. So, I mean, I'm sure other things happened in Magic recently, but ever since, Wednesday, everything has stopped and everything is all about Eldraine and its Throne. So we got a fucking bunch of spoilers pretty much all at once. And then we also got to actually play with the cards. And we got the spoiler or the teaser video or whatever the fuck they want to call it. And this is the quickest we've ever seen a release of cards from like 0 to 100.
Yeah, they dumped them pretty quick.
Yeah, there was a high frequency, just all, come out at once.
I think they also kind of did that, I think, because of like you said, the online thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because if they weren't there, people were just going to screenshot shit and share it anyway. So why not get the credit and publicity for doing it themselves?
And my thing is, like, even with the fact that we've had, in the past 6 months, we've had 4 or 5 spoiler seasons. We've had at least 4.
Yeah, it's been pretty intense, like, the past year, 6 months. But yeah, they came out with those 4 Brawl decks on MTG Arena. So, like Matt said, they had to put those cards out there.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if they spoiled all of them before
I don't think
you could play the cards.
They spoiled all the cards.
I think a lot of them got spoiled from people just getting to play with them, which is easily the first time we've ever had that happen.
Yeah, and we don't even have the whole set yet.
Oh, I don't even think we have a lion's share of the set yet. We just have a bunch of like commons and uncommons and some rares that happen to fit into those niche decks. But nothing too crazy yet.
Well, they said they're coming out with all the 3 planeswalkers are there. Never mind.
Yes, all 3 planeswalkers are out, and that's what they led with. They led with the Oko Thief of Crowns. That guy is sweet.
That art is fucking dope.
Mm-hmm.
Just some cut up elf.
Both arts too, because they're different arts. They have the extended art that is for the fancy Pinkies Out packs.
Yeah. Oh no, never mind. He's a fairy. Standard. I'm a fucking idiot.
But yeah, Oko Thief of Crowns, he is a 3-mana planeswalker, so he's already going to be either totally fucking garbage or insane.
Well, here's the other part of it. There's 2 3-mana planeswalkers.
Yeah, because that's just the world that we live in now. The 3-mana Planeswalker is just common.
Yeah, and if you see like the Garruk is 6 mana, so
yeah. But this Oko dude, he is 1 green-blue for a legendary Planeswalker Oko with 4 starting loyalty. His +2 ability is create a food token. His +1 ability is target artifact or creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elk creature with base power and toughness of 3/3. And he has a -5 ability of exchange control of target artifact or creature you control and target creature and opponent controls with power 3 or less.
You know the best part about this?
What?
The second ability does not end.
No, it's just a permanent. They're just a permanent little elk.
That is pretty sick. You know, him and Tassiger are just rubbing wieners.
They have the same pose.
Yeah.
Just laid back, ripped up, hanging out.
Smoking that magical space stuff.
I think Tassiger, on the grand scheme of things, is just far more badass than this guy.
Yeah, the +2 creating a food token. I guess if you're going to do the -5, it's good to kind of exchange control of just a food token.
Yeah.
But food tokens in and of themselves aren't really getting me hard. You know what I mean? Like
no,
maybe
I'm not over
maybe
the
in
moon
like a
about
life
food
gain
tokens.
deck or maybe in a artifacts matter deck. But other than that, I can't really see.
So I guess we should explain what the food tokens do. So the food tokens are just artifact tokens that for 2 mana you can sacrifice it and gain 3 life. So just a shitty clue.
I think those are pretty cool though, because that's going to make limited games longer. So these aggressive decks aren't just going to be able to blow you out of the water.
Yeah, and they're kind of thematic too. Like think about any time that you play a video game, what does food do?
Heals you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a flavor win, no pun intended.
Yeah. Oh, that shitty joke is top notch. I love it.
We got there.
I also think that we see some food stuff, like we have the fucking golden goose or gilded goose.
And
a couple other things that deal with food, but I think we're going to see a lot more of that. My prediction, it's going to be like similar to like the energy mechanic. There's going to be ways to take advantage of these. And the biggest one I thought of for standard is with Karn.
Oh, sure. Yeah, in as far as the entire standard context, that's something that we could definitely see be busted wide open.
Well, he'll rotate, won't he? Because he's Dominaria.
Oh, yeah.
So never mind with that, because it's making artifacts and it's.
Well, no. He's War the Spark. Well, which one are you talking about? You're talking about the Dominaria card.
Yeah, the one that artifacts matter.
Oh, a quick aside. I fucking hate that there are multiples of the same Planeswalker in a standard format.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
It feels very Oath of the Gatewatch, or not Oath, but like, you know how the Gatewatch kept fucking showing up and there was a million different versions.
Yeah, like we had 17 Gideons in one standard format, and that's when they made that change to be like, oh, you could have multiple Gideons of different names on the battlefield instead of only being able to have one kind of Gideon. But yeah, I mean, food tokens are fine. I tweeted initially when I saw this guy, I was thinking about it for a second, and I thought back to that initial just shell of a card that we got spoiled before, the Goldilocks girl. Flaxen Intruder. How we just had her mana cost and then the fact that she had another ability that was 5 green, but we didn't know what that ability was. My initial thought was, how cool would it be if you played her as a 1/1 and then in order to do that second ability, it was like you had to sacrifice a food token. So you had to like feed her food in order to do that ability.
To grow her or whatever.
Yeah. That would have been so sick.
I really thought they were going to be just something like you're going to have creatures or abilities that are sacrifice this and get a counter or do some sort of ability. Kind of like the energy.
Yeah, I could have seen like sacrifice a food, target creature gets a +1/+1 counter.
Yeah.
Or a +1 or +2/+2 till the end of turn or something.
So what do you guys think of the adventure mechanic?
Oh, I love it. I didn't know what the fuck it did before, and honestly, with all of the spoilers that came out, Wizards didn't give any insight into what the hell it was. They were just like, oh, here's this border, and here's these cards that do these things. Figure it out, dickheads. But thankfully, because of the Arena Brawl decks that we could play, I figured out what it does.
That's the only reason I figured it out too. It's
Same.
stupid.
I do have a question about this. So it says you have to do that ability and then exile it and cast it later. So if I plow or path one of these fucking things, I can't cast it, right? It's just gone. Or does it have to be exiled with that ability?
Huh.
That
You
is
just
interesting.
asked a very fucking good question.
I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, oh, because that would be real shitty.
Well, I
That
mean,
would-
look at like flashback cards or something. Like whether you cast that card or discard it with Faithless Looting, or your opponent discards it with like a Thoughtseize or something, you can still cast that card with flashback. Like let's say you have a Liliana and then you plus a Liliana having to discard a card and you discard a Lingering Souls, you can still cast that second half of Lingering Souls.
My initial thing is no, you won't be able to do that.
But is there
because
like
you have
there,
to exile it with that, and then you may cast. I'm
so
trying to
is
find
there
one of
like
these
a
fucking things.
second? Is there now an adventure zone?
No, it's just the exile zone, but you can cast it from exile. If I can find one that has the fucking text on it.
But
There's
I'm just
an
saying.
article. There's an article that came out yesterday that explains the adventure. I'm trying to find out how this fucking works.
Yeah, because I'm thinking in the context of actual gameplay. If you have you're sitting down playing Paper Magic and you have like your graveyard, your library, your exile, it's gonna
No. It
weird
goes to
distinction.
exile,
Yeah, it goes to exile, sure.
but I think it like then gains the ability that you can cast it, but you have to do it with that. It reminds me of those split cards like Dusk Dawn, where you
Yeah.
can only cast that from the graveyard.
Sure.
But this
it's
is
still-
you can only cast it from exile if you paid the not aftermath adventure cost or whatever.
Okay, so here's
go ahead.
something interesting that I was wondering about. It says in the article, while the card is in your hand, your graveyard, your library, even in exile, it only has the characteristics of the creature, not the adventure.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, I'm correct. So you won't be able to do that. If I say path this 1/1 death touch, you can't cast it. You would,
Well,
it would have to die and go to the graveyard. Then you would have to pay the adventure cost, do that ability. It would go to exile. Then you could cast the.
Well, the whole thing is if there is a separate adventure zone,
Yeah,
then yeah, that would be the case.
that would
But
make sense.
if
But
it's if it's just exiled any way, then presumably you could cast the creature.
No, because it just said that it's only the creature, and then once you do the adventure, then you would technically have access. But if I just path it, you can't play this Flaxen Intruder.
So then
Well-
there would. What we're saying is that there would have to be a separate adventure zone.
No, there wouldn't, because I saw one of the cards, and it actually had the actual text.
But
Of what
that
adventure
leaves too much
does.
ambiguity in Paper Magic for there to be like a judge call where one person says, "Oh, that this was put in exile from some other way," and the other person would be like, "Oh no, this. I did the adventure zone, or I did the adventure thing on that."
Well, it says it's a creature pretty much everywhere, even in exile. So you
The only
just pay
time
the
it-
creature cost.
The only time it is a sorcery is when it's on the stack.
I believe so. Man, we should be judges because we're
Can
just
we-
nailing it right now.
Yeah,
Can
fuck
we-
yeah.
I don't think that that's how it will work.
Or
Can you
will
guys
it be a-
find a card that actually has the adventure text, or read me word for word the adventure text?
See, I can't because I don't actually know where any of those are. Let me dig deeper on that.
I'd be willing to bet that you can't do that.
Well, all I'm saying is that wouldn't it make sense for there to be a separate zone then?
No, because you have to do the one thing before you get the second. And
Sure,
if you,
but with things, but there's no discrepancy in that in
yes,
the
there
zone.
is. How did it the thing?
Yeah, but
That's my
that was
thing.
my point on the ambiguity of it. Like if a game goes long and like something happened on like turn 1 where it got pathed and it's like turn 15. Like even like in a commander game that could have like implications.
All right, so here's Gavin Verhey explaining the adventure mechanic. It's an alternative spell connected with a creature card similar to the split cards. The difference, however, is that both sides of the card can be used. You can always play a card for its normal mana cost in the top right, or if it's in your hand, you can pay the adventure cost and send it away on an adventure. It'll it'll do
Exile.
It'll do the effect in the adventure text box. You'll exile the card, and you can still cast it later on. So I assume there's some sort of text on these that says, if this creature is an exile, you can cast it. Because
Oh,
that's all
Maybe-
the adventure's doing.
Maybe the text will be if you cast this card with its adventure, then you can cast it from exile, or some way that they're going to word it, then maybe you can't do it with like a path, or like cast it from underneath like an Oblivion Ring effect.
So it says later on, a player then has the ability to cast Flaxen Intruder from exile, and that's the little Goldilocks girl.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really, it's looking like it doesn't matter how it gets to exile, but that's gonna...
Oh, that's really fucky. If that's how it works,
that's a spicy meatball. If that's
how
case.
that works, I do not like that at all.
Yeah, that is weird. Well, I mean, also, we're just three fucking idiots talking about Magic the Gathering. I don't know if we're hitting the nail on the head with this, or if we're just talking about something that actually doesn't matter. But these are valid questions. Like, we honestly have no idea, and none of the information that Wizards has given us has given us a clear-cut answer on how it's supposed to go.
So not only am I pissed about that they didn't spell it out for me because I'm an idiot. Also, the new Garruk, he's not that great.
Yeah,
6 mana.
The Cursed Huntsman. I'll read them out real quick, and then we can discuss how disappointed we are in this guy. Because, I mean, you might be mad because he's not great. I'm mad about other things. So, Garruk, Cursed Huntsman, is a 6 mana planeswalker for 4 and a green and a black. And he has 5 starting loyalty. He has a 0 ability that says create two 2/2 black and green wolf creature tokens with, when this creature dies, put a loyalty counter on each Garruk you control. He has a -3 ability with destroy target creature and you draw a card, and a -6 ability where you get an emblem with creatures you control get a +3/+3 and have trample.
Okay, so I think I misread it. I thought it was only 1 token.
No, you get
2.
2.
Yeah, this thing is much better than it seems.
Yeah, and I guess I just was hoping that the wolves would have Death Touch, because they usually do.
Oh, because Garruk Relentless.
Right. But now actually reading it instead of just skimming it like an idiot, this seems like you could get the emblem pretty easily.
Yeah. And my one issue with this, and it's just a flavor thing, and it was something that Vorthos Mike on Twitter fucking pointed out. It's sad that his dogs have to die for him to get.
Oh, you're not wrong.
I don't like that.
I dislike how his hands are so tiny, especially his left hand. It's like a little.
Yeah,
take my little hand.
He's so ripped up and he's so visceral, and he's just got like this little baby hand.
I do think this thing is pretty goddamn.
Well, here's the thing. It follows that exact same formula of that 5 mana planeswalkers have followed in standard for the past, 3-4 years, where his +1, which in this guy's case, it's a 0, which I guess is the trade-off for it being 6 mana instead of 5 mana. But his +1 or 0 mana ability, or 0 loyalty ability, is protect itself. Its minus ability is kill a thing, and its ultimate is just something good.
Kill a thing and draw a card.
Like, this guy and Omnixilus from the Return to Zendikar, there's like not a difference in my brain. They're essentially the same fucking planeswalker. They just have similar ability.
And you could casually get this guy out, just start pumping out tokens, and if they killed him, all your creatures always have overrun.
Yeah, I'm hating this guy less and less.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, I think he's going to see standard play, because in standard the 6 mana actually doesn't make a fucking difference.
Well, that and green, so you have access to ramp.
Yeah, especially ramp in the form of like the Gilded Goose.
Yeah, via creatures, via spells. Because I could see you.
Don't put a fucking wrench into my transition. We're talking about Gilded Goose.
Fuck off. I think you could pay. You could make him make 2/2 things, chump block 2 things, and then just give your team overrun forever.
I mean, I don't even think about it in the context of just like, oh, I'm just going to chump block with it. It's going to be a game text context. It's going to be like the gameplay context where you're going to make guys with this guy, and unless your opponent has straight up attacks that are going to kill you very soon, they're just not going to attack into those 2/2. They need to deal with Garruk before they even attack.
Yeah, and you'll just swarm with 2/2s. You can pick stuff off.
Reads from top to bottom, I'm stalling the ball. Like, this game is going to progress forward when I say so.
He'd be pretty good in like a sacrifice sort of deck, where if they don't attack in, you could just sack the wolves.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like
wonder
that.
if there's any things that in this set that have any synergy with sacrifices.
In black and green, probably not.
Yeah,
I mean,
doubt it.
I do have that deck, which some of the stuff is going to rotate, but it's that deck that we didn't cover last time on Arena.
Oh,
Well-
yeah, the black-green standard deck.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Well, let's talk about this Gilded Drake because I was so just inappropriately ruined by transition by Matthew.
Fuck off, dum-dum. It's Gilded Goose, not Gilded Drake.
Oh, Gilded Drake is a different card.
Yes.
But
I
Gilded
fucking love this
Goose.
card.
Yeah, Gilded Goose he's the golden goose, bud. So he is 1 green mana for an 0/2. He has flying because of course he does. Because bird. And when Gilded Goose enters the battlefield, you create a food token. And then for 1 and a green, tap him. You can create another food token, and then you can just tap him and sacrifice a food, and then produce a mana of any color. This is the first. I guess, would you even call... I mean, I guess you kind of have to call him a mana dork.
Well, yeah, you get the first one for free. So
You got to work
it's-
for it a bit.
The first one's free. The first one comes in free. You
Sure.
got a food token.
Sure it does.
You got 1 free ramp. After, it's a good way to either pump out food tokens if you're going that route, or it can eat other food tokens to fix, ramp. I like these. This kind of card is the stuff that I like because it's...
Well, I guess this is all dependent on how easily you can produce food.
Yeah, we didn't really see a lot of common stuff that's like, hey, when it comes into play, make a food. But I think we're going to.
Maybe.
And also, I think if you're going to be running this guy, you're going to have other food sources in your deck. You don't want to just rely on him.
Yeah, I just don't know how good the food sources... Like, are the food sources going to be playable enough to just throw them in a deck with this guy?
One thing that really fucking bothers me is that he's not a food himself. Because it's a goose, it should be a food source.
Okay.
Oh, you just think animals should just in general be food?
Well, this one in particular, yes.
Just 'cause
Okay,
it's a
so
goose.
here's a little interaction that I just found on Mythic Spoiler. There's the golden egg for two colorless, and it's an artifact food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
thing.
you can, when it enters the battlefield, draw a card, pay 1 and tap, sacrifice it, add 1 mana, and some other shit, whatever. But it itself, is a food, and the goose says sacrifice food,
A
not
food.
a food token.
You
Yeah.
make a great point. I did not know that the golden egg was itself food.
Yeah, because the first ability is cycle it pretty much, and then it does what? A food token.
Yeah, it's a 2 mana egg.
Yeah, literally.
I hate that everything is coming together. I fucking despise it.
Someone in Wizards just is maniacally laughing, petting their fucking bald cat.
Yeah, they're sitting at their desk and just rubbing their hands together and going, remember that deck that was called Eggs? Well, here's an egg. Fucking asshole. I hate that person.
Going completely off topic, this set is super fucking spicy and great. The arts are on point, like it's super themey.
You mean
I can
thematic
dig it.
is
No,
what would be a
themey.
word that you would want.
See me?
I want to fucking say themey. I'm going to say themey.
Oh, well, yeah. I would go so far to say if themey was a word, it would be themey.
This isn't thematic. It's themey, you fuck.
I mean, yeah, it lends itself to the theme of it, lends itself to a top-down design set.
Yes.
Because look at the ones that we've had in the past. Like Innistrad, probably, arguably best set of all time, top-down designed. Theros, arguably one of the best flavor sets of all time, top-down designed.
Yeah, so far I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, most of the top-down design sets have been out of the park, just fucking incredible sets. The only one that sticks out to me is one that I think fell short, which maybe not in flavor, but it just is a set that I liked, was Amonkhet.
Yeah, I was lukewarm on that just because the Gatewatch was involved for so long.
That's exactly what my thought process was. They made a top-down design set, but then also tried to force fuck the Magic story into it, and it kind of split it right down the middle for me, and I didn't like that.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same page. It's like a C, or it was a fucking C.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
but
over and done with. But
they seem like they're going all in, especially in the case of this one where they've already released all of the Planeswalkers. I don't think we should talk about the Royal Scion yet because I believe that was a leak and not a spoiler.
oh, it's for sure a leak, but it's out there, so
I mean, I don't like doing that because I don't. If that's somebody else's, like some other content creator's preview card,
it's on fucking Mythic Spoiler, dude.
yeah. But it also could, like, somebody could be doing a fucking video about that, and I feel like an asshole.
Yeah, but the amount of people that listen to us, they can fucking get over it.
Well, if the people who listen to us want to fucking see it, they can go on Mythic Spoiler and see it. But if they want to avoid spoilers, then let's not fucking talk about it.
I personally don't give a shit, but
Tyler's being a snowflake.
Listen, we're fucking small content creators. What if fucking we got a fucking card, which is never gonna fucking happen? But what if we got a card and it was thrown up on Mythic Spoilers and everybody's just like, oh, look at this fucking card. And
we'd get the fucking Crystal Slipper. We wouldn't be getting a fucking Planeswalker, dum-dum.
You don't know that. What if they'd be like, what if there was something so thematic or themey to us that they had to give it to us?
Fucking drunken assholes who yell at each other. Yeah, if they do that,
just bards.
If they make that card, then I'd be pissed.
Like they just put a card with our faces on. Dumb assholes that drink too much and swear.
So what other
This is the play design name, actually.
what other cards are you guys excited about so far?
Probably one of the better cards, which I just found out is actually fucking better than I thought, is Rankle, Master of Pranks.
Yes.
This dude's fucking spicy.
Yeah,
it's 2 black for 3/3 legendary creature fairy rogue, flying haste. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, choose any number. I thought this was choose one, but it's choose any number. And the 3 options are
Yeah, you could do all of them.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Now Cory is finally figuring it out. We've been talking about this before, Cory. Come on.
So the fucking 3 things are: each player discards a card, each player loses a life and draws a card, each player sacrifices a creature.
Yeah, you can do all of them. Fuck them all.
Yeah.
And this card would be fucking garbage if it didn't have flying and haste.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, yeah. I had bought the Rakdos Precon Commander deck, and I think it's garbage. And I'm trying to do like everybody discards, everybody takes a little bit of damage over time.
A little bit of group slug.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this card goes right into that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's everything that Rakdos wants to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I thought it was only choose one, and I was like, oh shit, that's pretty good.
Well, I'm glad I could enlighten you.
Yeah, because it's a fucking supercharged hippie.
Yeah, he's good. He's real good.
Yeah.
I am actually pretty excited about the Circle of Loyalty card.
Ooh, the mono white knights. Well, not the mono white, just fucking knights.
Yeah, shocker that I'm excited about the white card.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the 6 mana. I mean, it's a legendary artifact and it's 6 mana. So, I mean, fuck its construct to play ability, right? But
no, not at all. Look at the fucking first line of that shit.
Exactly. But the first line of it says, this spell costs 1 less to cast for each knight you control. So that 6 mana can go down pretty fucking quickly. And the other text on it is, creatures you control get a +1/+1. You know I love a fucking anthem. And it also says, whenever you cast a legendary spell, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with Vigilance. And for 3 and a white, you can tap it and create a 2/2 white knight creature with Vigilance. You know who also creates a 2/2 white knight creature with Vigilance?
That goddamn
Gideon, ally of Zendikar.
No, I wasn't thinking that. What's that? The white thing that was like massive when it came out?
The Benalia. History of Benalia.
Yeah, History of Benalia. It's a legendary spell. No, it's not. It's a historic spell. Never mind.
Historic. But I mean, but it is.
Makes 2 knights.
Is that going to rotate though?
No, I'm not thinking about it in a standard context. I'm thinking about it in modern.
Oh, okay.
Like just mono. Like I just love brewing shitty white decks in modern, and just mono knights with like Gideons and the new white Force of Virtue.
Wow.
Just, like,
okay.
Anthems and shitty, just generic, easy ways to produce 2/2s. I'm all in for dumb shit like that. Like I'm gonna lose 80% of the games I play, but those 20% of the games I win, it's gonna be glorious.
Oh shit! I guess this thing technically pumps out 3 3s.
Yeah, it does. And if there's anybody out there who likes a white knight, it's me.
Oh, they remade fucking Savannah Lion. That's never mind. That's we'll stay away from it since it wasn't technically spoiled yet.
Which one are you talking about?
The Venerable Knight.
No, that was spoiled.
Oh, it just has the shitty text and it's not the actual card.
That is the Magic Arena card.
Oh, text.
Because it was in the Knights deck.
Yeah, so this is Savannah Lions that is just supercharged for Knights.
With upside. I like that.
What are you liking out of this set, Cory?
So Garrick is pretty cool. Rankle is even better now. I'm liking Piper of the Swarm, which is just a shitty little 1/3 for 1 and a black human warlock. Rats you control have menace. For 1 and a black tap, create a 1/1 black rat creature token. And then for 2 blacks, tap, sack 3 rats, gain control of target creature.
Also, the art on that card,
Pretty
cool. Dope.
Yeah, lights out. That art is fucking great.
I'm just a sucker for rats. I'm a sucker for tribal in general. So to be able to give like mono black rats that extra reach of gaining control of another creature that your opponent has, that's nuts.
Yeah, that's something that's better than the rats that you have.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Like the fucking warlock part of it.
Yeah. Also,
It's
yeah,
not a
that's the
wizard.
first warlock in Magic, right?
Not a wizard. It's a fucking warlock.
A warlock.
I remember a long time ago, Morrow put one of his little one of the polls up that he does all the time, and he's like, "What's the new creature type that you want to see?" And warlock was one of them.
And this is actually, I did not know that, but it's cool that those polls are actually turning into real Magic the Gathering cards.
Yeah, I think he actually uses that data.
That's actually refreshing to see that fucking head of everything in charge actually listens to the peasant.
He was buying the shit and spending money.
But
the peasants have the power.
That's right. I mean, yeah, sure. That's, I guess, the idea of capitalism.
You know, one thing we haven't seen yet?
What?
What are those 2 shits who go into the candy? Hansel and Gretel. We haven't seen
We're
a
going to
reference
see
to
Hansel
those
and
yet.
Gretel.
So both you guys watched the little trailer for the set, right?
I definitely did. I watched it live and I was losing my shit. I loved it.
I have actually not watched it.
Well, it's about time that they actually start putting out good trailers. Like the War of the Spark one was pretty fucking awesome. This one is amazing. It has that little, hint of humor in it as well, and it's like it feels relevant to gaming in general, not just for Magic nerds. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing too: those ads, Wizards is paying for those ads to be put on like YouTube for people who don't have the YouTube Premium, and Twitch for the people who don't have the Twitch Premium. Like, they're running those ads. Why would they run the fucking War of the Spark ad for anybody who's not an entrenched player? Because none of the characters in that people are attached to. But this one, it's relatively common that people will know what the fuck a gingerbread man and a gingerbread woman are. So even like you can speak to the entrenched players with having Garrick in it, but it wasn't just a fan service like I felt like the War of the Spark was. Not saying the War of the Spark one was bad, but the War of the Spark one was definitely more geared towards entrenched players.
I just think the quality is a lot better than it used to be, for the previous sets.
You should just be like the poor animation of cards.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
so bad.
So another
Someone
card
sitting
that's
in the background with the 2 cards going.
Like Path to Exile, and like the new art, it's just like, or the old art, it's just like the thing just fading into dust, and you're just like, oh, that's not very good. What intern did they pay for that?
the background art is moving, but another card that I'm stoked about because I love graveyard shenanigans is Sir Conrad, the Grim.
The Pauper guy, or the Pauper Commander guy. Because I play a lot of Pauper Commander, and I am building the fuck out of this guy.
So do you use a uncommon legendary creature in Pauper Commander?
So Pauper Commander, you can use any uncommon creature as your commander.
Sick.
Does not have to be a legendary.
Nice.
But this guy is definitely going to be my next build.
Yeah, he's a 5/4 for 3 black, human knight. Whenever another creature dies, or a creature card is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature card leaves your graveyard, this dude deals 1 damage to each opponent. He also has a activated ability, 1 in a black. Each player mills 1.
Yeah, I love it.
So, like Matt pointed out earlier, it doesn't say token anywhere on it, which is huge.
Yeah.
And it's not just your creature, unless you're talking about the specific
Blood Artist
graveyard.
wants to be.
Exactly.
Oh, shit. I didn't see that part.
Yeah, big time.
Into a graveyard.
Yeah.
Or if a creature leaves your graveyard to the battlefield.
I think he is going to be sweet in just general Commander, but I am very excited for him in Pauper Commander.
It's also just a casual 5/4 for 5.
Yeah, I mean, those aren't stats to fucking just shrug off. Yeah, Cory, you need to get on Pauper Commander. That's something I feel like you would be into.
I'm down, dude. I have the what is it, the 1DH, where every card's under $1.
Yeah, that format is super sweet.
What
I only
happens
have one.
if it fluctuates?
I'm not sure on the rules on that.
They have like a timeline where it's like every month, like it refreshes, and it's also like an online thing. Like people play it online, but you have to enter a league and have like the specific rules. Like you just have to type it in like the requested rules that like, oh, this is a $1 EDH group, and just hope that nobody who has an actual Commander deck joins. But I just play Pauper Commander because it's with my friends, and they're not super into buying expensive cards. And obviously Pauper Commander decks, like you're paying $15 at very most.
So Pauper Commander, all the whole 99 is just commons.
Yep.
And then the Commander is just any uncommon.
Yeah, so my pet Pauper Commander deck is Exorius Aether Mage. I believe it's from Dissension. And it is a blue, and a white. For a human wizard, it's a 1/1. And it says whenever a permanent is returned to your hand, you may pay 1. And if you do, you draw a card. And it's just all about like blinking my own permanents and drawing a million cards.
I might have to get into that.
Oh my god, it's super fun. You just get to play bad cards that you'd never be able to play in any other format, but for some reason they're insane in Pauper Commander. Like it's great.
So what do you guys think about this frame, this fancy frame that they got going?
So are we talking about the one for the fancy Pinkies Out booster packs, or are we talking about the one for the standard set?
So I'm just looking at like the standard one where it has like the pages at the bottom.
Okay. I mean, it seems...
That one's fucking garbage.
It seems a little busy to me.
So the two I'm looking at Animating Fairy.
Yeah, that one sucks.
It's
plain
super,
Jane.
Yeah, super plain. I almost prefer it being more busy. Not that either of them are all that great, but if you're going to do that, like the Love Struck Beast is really cool.
Okay, so I think like what you're saying is the one side has a million pieces of text, and the other side just says flying.
Yeah, it's just it's a little plain.
Yeah, fill that other side with some kind of text. Like that would be perfect
flavor
for
text.
Like, yeah, exactly. That would be perfect for flying up top and then some kind of flavor text at the bottom, because the other side is a entire spell.
Like in the the Shield Breaker, it has flavor text on the right hand side.
Yeah,
like
just
it
a
filled
plain
it up.
Jane 2/1.
Yeah, and that just makes it look more complete as a card. I guess and honestly, when we see it as the actual paper card, it could be different. But right now we're looking on Mythic Spoilers, and we're looking at Animation Fairy, which is a 2 and a blue for a 2/2 flyer, but it also has the adventure mechanic, and the adventure spell is Bring to Life, and for a 2 and a blue at sorcery speed, target creature or target non-creature artifact you control becomes a 0/0 artifact, and you can put 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Yeah, there's just hard divide down the center where one side is a lot of fucking information and the other side is essentially not.
I feel like a real boy looking at this card.
I'm a real boy. Like the Foulmire Knight, like that it's just busy enough to not piss me off, and it's not plain.
Yeah, I like
that's
the
also a thing.
fucking like vines or whatever the fuck you want to call it going up the sides. Like that's cool. They fucking pulled back the hieroglyphic ones. Like that was fucking ridiculously just dumb. But this one,
oh, those grew on me after a while though.
No, those suck. You can't fucking read what they are. But this I like. It's simple. It's a cool design, and it like brings a lot to it.
You're talking about the Amonkhet expeditions or whatever they were called.
Yeah, the fucking hieroglyphic cards.
Yeah. Though, yeah, the expeditions from Amonkhet. I like those because if the border was so far beyond a magic card that at first you were just like, oh, this isn't my magic. And then after a while you realized that, oh, this is a magic card, and you're like, you recognized it. So the only real identifier was the art. So the ones that had incredible art, you knew immediately. Like, you can't not look at the days from that set and not immediately know that that is days.
Oh, I'll give you that. That's one of my favorite arts. But it would be better if they just wrote fucking days on it and then had that art on the rest of the fucking card.
Sure. I mean, I definitely can see where people don't like it. It just grew on me after a while. But I mean, we mentioned this at the fucking very beginning of this entire tyrant, but most of these cards that we got because of Magic Arena. And I know Matt doesn't know how to work a computer, but me and Cory actually got the opportunity to play these decks on Magic Arena. Cory, what did you think of these?
Well, like we talked about earlier, they announced Brawl such a long time ago that I lost wood for it. And then once they came out with these pre-con decks on Arena, it kind of fluffed me up a little bit. And I did play a bunch of games with them, and I'm digging it. And
good job, Wizards, being a fucking fluffer.
Yeah, they really reignited the spark, if you know what I'm saying.
And I'm always into stupid formats. What about you? What'd you think?
Oh, I loved it. And almost the exact same sentiment that you had. I heard about Arena, or I heard about Brawl. It was just like, oh, this will be something that's cool. Tried it out on Arena and enjoyed it, but wasn't over the fucking moon about it. And then it died off, and I'm like, okay, well, that's just another format that goes the way of any of the other formats that they have tried. And then this came out, and I was like, oh, the big allure for me, I was like, I want to see these new cards. I'm really excited about trying out this new shit. And through the context of Brawl, it actually got me excited about Brawl. I don't know if that was almost entirely because of the new cards or if it was because of the gameplay of Brawl, but I was excited.
Do you think you're going to buy one of these decks in paper?
The only way that I would buy one of these decks in paper is to port one of the commanders into an actual commander deck.
Right. And that's kind of my thinking too, is that I like Brawl, but the rotation kind of, I don't like that part of it.
Yeah, it kicks me in the ass.
Yeah.
Unless it would be like super cheap. Like if all the Brawl cards were dirt, that would be a little different, I could see. But some of these, like, I could see being not super cheap or not super expensive, but I could see some of them getting like $15 if this is the only place they're at.
Well, my thing is, where am I going to play these cards?
Right.
Commander would be the big thing.
Not the Brawl cards, because most of the Brawl cards outside of the commanders are kind of shit.
Yeah, outside of the Commander, yeah, I guess.
And this seems like one of those products that they're just going to flood the big box stores with. Mm-hmm. So unless it's just a flop, these cards will probably be pretty cheap.
Yeah, in general.
I must say,
it's going to be a Walmart special.
I'm sure this will be, or do they foil any of these? Because this command tower foiled would be fucking awesome looking.
Well,
yeah, that new art is dope.
As far as I know, the only way to get those cards foil, because they're not going to be in the real set, are going to be through those Pinkies out packs. That's another way they get you. They get the casual players into buying these $100 packs of Magic cards just in the meager hope to get these foil command towers or extended art planeswalkers.
So which one of the Brawl decks did you like the best?
Contrary to the popular opinion, I really liked the Knights deck, the Mardu Knights. And I also really liked the Esper Artifacts and Enchantments Matter.
Yeah, the Knights deck wasn't as bad as everyone was saying. But I did fall in love with the Jund deck just because of sacrifice shenanigans.
Sure.
When he enters the battlefield, you sacrifice another permanent, and then whenever you sack a permanent, you put a counter on it and draw a card.
Yeah, but that's like your play style.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't think of anything that's farther away from my play style, so I didn't even bother playing that. But attacking with bad creatures is 1000% my play style, and that's why I think I liked the Mardu deck. I think I only cast the commander in like the probably dozen games that I played. I think I cast the commander actually just once, and I ended up losing that game because I was just dead. I just casted the commander because it was something I could do. But if your opponent puts a wall in front of you, your 2/2s aren't getting through it. I don't care what equipment you put on it. Your 2/2s just aren't going to attack through that thing. But that's just the style of the deck. That's what it's built towards. And that's kind of what Brawl feels like to me. It's these grand schemes of what Commander could be, but it's brought down to this micro level where you only get to play with this small pool of cards. Because that Commander is bonkers with equipment.
Oh, yeah. Equip everything for free to Knights.
So they have a Colossus Hammer in the pre-con.
Yeah.
That's the equip costs 8, and it's just 1 to cast, and it's creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying. And if you have your commander out, you just equip that for free.
Yeah, unfortunately I never got that combo, but if I would have, that's essentially game over.
Speaking of combo, did anyone play this Chu Lane, Teller of Tales?
I played it a couple games, and it was obviously far and beyond the most powerful card in the deck, and the deck was packed with 2-drop creatures. Like, I feel like over half the deck was 2-mana creatures or something like that.
I really enjoyed this deck because it's one of those decks where it feels like I'm juggling a whole bunch of balls at the same time, and I have a whole bunch of options about what I could do. And you get mana ramp so easy in this deck, and then before you know it, you have either Frilled Mystic out, or what's the other one that was really good? Meteor Golem.
Yes, and you can just get to bounce that guy back and just keep blowing up permanents. Yep.
Yes, so you just bounce permanent, blow up permanents, counter spells, or even with Forbidding Spirit, which kind of taxes your opponent on their attack. So basically, you're just it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that card makes you feel like you're very smart.
Yeah, and it has the the Biomancer's Familiar, which your activated abilities cost 2 less.
Oh yeah.
So things get sick really quickly in that deck.
Yeah, that deck is just like, but I feel like the linchpin is that commander.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
like
it's a build around.
That commander is going to end up being big problems in real commander, not just Brawl, actual real deal commander.
Yeah, like Matt said, people are gonna find a way to break it really easily.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Especially like just infinite combos when you literally can draw your whole deck. Pretty easily.
Yeah. You know what card
Creatures
really
that
knocked
bounce
my socks off?
themselves. What knocked your socks off?
The card that was the standout card as far as I was playing all these Brawl decks was in the Alayla deck, the Artifact and Enchantment deck, the Shimmer Dragon. It's 4 and blue for a 5/6 flyer. And as long as you control 4 or more artifacts, Shimmer Dragon has hexproof. And you can tap 2 untapped artifacts you control and draw a card. That card overperformed like a motherfucker.
Yeah, the hexproof is probably a bit much.
Yeah, it was just like nobody could target it. It was just this big dumb idiot that flew that could get in. And it was just drawing like 2 to 3 cards a turn at their end step, just burying them in card advantage. Like there's no coming back once that card was on.
Oh yeah, you're just drawing a shitload of cards.
Yeah, so that was honestly the most exciting part of that deck. And when you have your commander out, it's just a casual 6/6 flyer. That's fun.
And also when you're making a bunch of food tokens, you can just draw a shitload of cards.
Yeah, like who needs 3 life when I can just tap 2 of them and draw a card, right?
I also think what's that enchantment that whenever your opponent draws a card, you get to make a artifact? Fuck.
Oh, Smothering Tides.
Yeah, I think that deck has it too. So they're just making a shitload of Smothering Tides, drawing a bunch of cards.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah, that's a combo if I've ever seen one. Yeah, these decks were sweet. This whole entire concept of releasing these decks, people can play them for a day, figure it out, like enjoy the mechanics, enjoy these cards for a limited time. That is, in my opinion, the best way that they've ever spoiled any kind of Magic card.
It's very different, to say the least.
Yeah.
And I feel like these are the type of decks that you could just play out of the box with little messing with. You know, like they all seemed like they ran pretty well.
Yeah.
Instead of like one being overpowered or, oh, I definitely have to switch this card out. Mm-hmm. All of them seem pretty on point.
Yeah, well, because these Brawl decks only have to go from a year and a half of Magic as far as but instead of the precon decks where they release these precons and then you look at them, you're like, oh, I have 25 years of cards to make this thing better.
Yeah, once they actually get into real Commander.
Yeah, but I mean, all in all, this is a crazy way to start spoiler season. And I thought that when we were done with the last one, I didn't want to see a new Magic card for like a year and a half. I was like, okay, listen, just let me digest these ones, especially after the whole Hogak thing. I'm like, I'm exhausted. I don't want new cards to ever come into a format because they just ruin everything. But they did this thing with Eldraine. I'm like, okay, My lips are moistened. I am ready for a bite of whatever you're serving me.
So speaking of Modern, what do you guys think about the unbanning of Stoneforge?
Oh, I have opinions about it. I have some real opinions because I've been playing a fuckload of Modern.
Go on.
I have to piss real quick because I have something.
What a fucking twat. I'm fine with it. It was pretty cool. I was dead wrong. I did not think it was getting unbanned. Dead wrong. Could not have been more wrong.
I'm seeing back and forth opinions on it. Like, you know, the format has evolved in such a way that Stoneforge isn't going to like alter it like it did before. And then I'm also seeing things like, well, every deck is just going to figure out a way to run Stoneforge Mystic and, you know, a couple swords or something like that.
Yeah, Batter Skull and a sword.
Yeah, exactly.
The really big thing is it's not a human, which that's fantastic because that deck would just snap, play 4 of them, and then have just a Batter Skull for basically free.
Right.
I was seeing decks that were playing this thing that you tap a creature and ping something, and it was an infinite combo with the Vizier Druid combo.
Okay.
Remedies.
Yeah, it would just ping them infinitely.
Huh.
Because you put the -1/-1 counter on that to untap it, but with Vizier, it doesn't get a counter, so then you just tap it again to ping something,
Oh,
untap,
with like the
ping.
Malira combo.
Yeah.
Or with the remedy that, and then what the fuck is that card? Oh, it's the red card. No. Is it red? Green.
What are you fucking talking about?
The combo that you're talking about. The
It's
modern
white and
one.
green. There's no red card in it.
I thought the combo card was a red card. Maybe it's not.
No, it's a equipment,
Just good
Did you
old
see this
fashioned
list
machine
recently?
gun everything down.
including your opponent. Yeah. I'm going to look that up because that's going to bug me if I don't figure out the name of it.
But motherfucking Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, god damn it. Let me crack my fucking knuckles and talk about this dumb asshole. So coming from a world where I have cast more Stoneforge Mystics than I could possibly fucking count, which is Legacy, I am intimately familiar with how that card interacts with combat and how the equipment that it fetches interacts with the various things that happen. But Modern and Legacy have these really huge differences, and it is the fail-safes on the form. And those fail-safes are Daze and Force of Will. When decks get to just play Daze and Force of Will, that just puts a huge halt on anything super degenerate. Modern doesn't have those, so the degenerate decks still get to be degenerate. I try to force Stoneforge Mystic into 3 different shells on Magic Online. I try to put it in a Spirits deck, I try to put it in a mono white deck, and I try to put it in a black-white Eldrazi deck. The only thing I didn't try, and it's only because I didn't have the tickets for it, was a like green-white Eldrazi style deck. Every deck that it's in, it fits so awkward in the curve that you just end up dying with whatever equipment you have in your hand.
Right.
It's just not good enough for Modern, which is insane because Stoneforge Mystic is a very good card in Legacy. But Modern is so degenerate and so fast that Stoneforge, a fair card at 2 mana, isn't good enough. It can't make the white decks good.
Right, right.
I think it's going to be best in this Coco deck. It's Viridian Longbow for those who want to look it up.
Yes.
You think
It's one-
Stoneforge is going to be good in that deck?
Yeah, because it gets hit by Coco. You can get it off Coco. And it is a 1 mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature has tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player, and it equips for 3.
Well, here's the thing with that. You could just play the other cards that net you infinite mana, and Walking Ballista is just better.
Not when you can get this for free. You play both of them. The deck hasn't changed that much.
My worry is, so you're playing 4 Stoneforge Mystics and then this bow. So that's 5 slots.
It doesn't even have to play 4. That's what I'm saying. It's
Well,
just a tutor for this.
This deck already had infinite combo, right?
Yeah, it made infinite mana.
Infinite
play
mana, and
Walking
then play a
Ballista.
Walking Ballista, and then machine gun your opponent to death with it.
So the fact that you can slot Stoneforge Mystic, like, yeah, you can do it, but that really isn't indicative of how powerful Stoneforge Mystic is in the format. It's just another thing that you can slot in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just gives it redundancy.
Right.
That's what I was saying. I think so far what I've seen better in that deck than other decks that have been trying to play it.
Yeah. I mean, as long as there's things like Urza and there's Storm in Modern, Stoneforge Mystic just shit out of luck. It's too
What do you
fair,
think
too
about
slow.
like a black-white tokens?
There is actually a black-white Pox deck that I wanted to try, but I also don't have the tickets for, that I think is maybe the best option for it, and that's only because the pox in it, like the only 4 creatures in the entire deck are 4 Stoneforge and 4 Bloodghast. That's it.
Okay.
That's all you need with Pox.
And it plays Liliana of the Veil, Gideon Ally of Zendikar, and then Botsy, Inquisition of Kozilek, Pox, Path to Exile, and then Batterskull, and then a sword of your choice. I don't think the sword actually matters.
Yeah, the sword seems kind of counterproductive there.
And I mean, I'm a Sword of Fire and Ice fanboy because that's the best sword in Legacy. I am starting to turn around on the fact that Sword of Fire and Ice it is generically the best sword in a vacuum. I don't think it's the best sword in Modern.
Is there any decks previous to Stoneforge actually playing swords, or is Stoneforge the impetus of every deck trying to do?
I'm pretty sure the last deck that played swords in a constructed format that wasn't Legacy was Stoneblade in Standard. And that's because that was the last time Stoneforge was Mystic in a format outside of Legacy and Vintage.
So yeah, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I mean, it's basically just a equipment tutor at that point because it's going to have a target on its back as soon as it enters the battlefield.
Well, that and Modern has a better target right now, or tutor for it. It's that red Goblin Welder creature.
Oh, yeah. Right. The Modern Horizons Goblin Engineer.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, he is really good. There's actually a deck in Legacy, the Painter deck in Legacy is playing him, and they're also playing like Arkham's Astrolabe and a bunch of other like Baleful Strix.
That has to be the most fucking played card from that that set.
The
Astrolabe, yeah.
Overall,
it's in
Ren and 6 might have it on its tail.
It's in every fucking Pauper deck. It's in a good amount of Modern decks now. I don't know if I've seen it in Legacy decks or not.
It only is played in like dedicated artifact decks that have like the instead of playing basic, they can just play Snowlands. I don't know. Ren and 6, just because arguably more people play the Modern and Legacy, and Ren and 6 is everywhere in Legacy. That card is too fucking good. Like, it's to the point where I'm like barely excited to play Legacy in Syracuse because I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna play against like a Ren and 6 deck every round, and I'm just gonna feel super bad and stupid for playing white creatures with 1 toughness.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, Modern's it's still Modern, and regardless of the bans and restrictions they're gonna put on it, it's always gonna be Modern.
Well, yeah, that's why it's Modern.
Yeah, how many times do you think we can fit Modern into that conversation?
Yeah, how many times can you say fucking Modern?
At least one more time, Modern.
There you go, you did it.
Well, speaking of Modern and the changes, I think at this point in time, I think it's better time than ever to move into our game for the evening.
Is it Modern?
It's Modern.
We're actually just going to play a game of Modern right now.
Yeah,
we're just going to just narrate the whole thing. Welcome to fucking Star City Games.
Welcome to Modern.
No, today, because we have our special guest Cory, and he's already been on here once, so he's already played Accumulated Knowledge. We're going to make him play our special game, Knowledge Pool.
And by special, it's a major pain in the dick.
I somewhat remember what it is, but I don't have high hopes.
Well, I'm assuming that everybody else out there probably doesn't remember what it is either, because I barely remembered what it was. I had to look up exactly my rules.
It's
and then
basically
also made fun because
blues.
That's what we do. No, this one I think is a little bit easier.
Oh, for sure it's easier.
Yeah, well, you're also a fucking savant, so
you're not wrong there.
You gotta take that into consideration. But our game for the night is Knowledge Pool. So the way Knowledge Pool works is I came up with 5 categories of cards, and I'm going to ask Cory to name me a specific number of cards from this specific category. If he reaches that number, he gets the point. If he doesn't, then he loses. I have 5 categories. Cory has to get 3 out of the 5. And I tried to think of ones that kind of relate to what we've been talking about this lovely evening. So Cory, are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
I tried to make it so they weren't the worst thing you'll ever face in your entire life.
That's a bold-faced lie.
I did.
As long as it doesn't have to do with mono blue Theros, I'm I'm fine because that was the worst.
Ooh. Well, you're lucky because I that was going to be my 6th question, but I just knocked it down to 5.
Good.
So the first one, considering all of the fucking troglodytes on Twitter kept making jokes about Eldraine being Shrek, which pissed me off to no end. Because one, fuck Shrek, like easily some of the worst movies of all time.
You shut your goddamn mouth.
But yeah, I didn't like the comparison. So, but you know what I do like? Magic the Gathering. And I also like our game. So the first category for Cory for Knowledge Pool is there are a staggering 90 creatures in Magic with the creature type Ogre. You have to give me 5.
Ogre.
You know, like Shrek.
Fuck me.
Some of these I think you should get just because standard legal stuff. And also, we talked about at least one of them.
Right. So there's Ogre Slumlord.
Yep, he is definitely an ogre, turns out.
Which is the rat boy.
Yep.
There's the red one. The 2 in red creatures have haste. Ogre Battle Driver.
Okay.
There's the shitty vanilla one, which probably like red.
I will give you a hint.
There's
A lot of them are red.
Oh fuck, man! This is so I got 2, right?
You did nail 2. Ogre Battle Driver is definitely one, and Ogre Slumlord is definitely one.
Oh, there was Reckless. Fuck, these stupid vanilla ones. Reckless Ogre, Reckless Brutes. Some
You know what?
shitty vanilla
I'm gonna
dude.
give you Reckless Brute from fucking M13.
Oh wow, that was that far ago. Okay, and there's like a million more shitty vanilla ones from more standard.
You know what?
sets.
Also, I'm gonna give you Reckless Ogre, even though I don't think you actually know what that card does. Because Reckless Ogre is definitely still a card.
That was a twofer.
Yeah, you nailed it.
There's one in M20. Just a shitty big dumb vanilla. I fucking drafted it. Rebel Belt Berserker.
Rebel Belt Berserker.
Rebel Belt Berserker. Rebel Belt Ogre.
Bubble butt.
You were so close with that one. I'm gonna give you 5 more seconds.
Rebel Belt Warrior. I don't know. Fuck it.
Ooh, you're so close with that one too.
What was
it? So that's gonna be time. It is Rebel Belt Recluse.
What?
Yep.
A fucking spider?
No, he is an ogre berserker, and he has to attack each combat.
Oh, what a bitch.
He's a 6/5. He's an aggressive boy.
I don't know how you didn't get Ogre Manial.
I don't even know what that card is.
Yeah, because we're not all fucking idiots like you who only know magic cards and not know how to spell your own name.
That's the Infect one.
Yeah, because he didn't play during the Infect era. Neither did I. Okay, ones that I thought were standouts in this category. Rorik Thar.
Ah.
He's an ogre. Everybody's favorite creature from Khans of Tarkir, Savage Knuckleblade. He's an ogre.
There was a lot in Ravnica, wasn't there?
Yeah, the Bolric Clan Crusher. He was the uncommon one that you could tap and remove a counter and deal 2 damage.
Yeah, I remember in the original Ravnica books, they talked about ogres a bit.
Yeah, the Gruul Spellbreaker was another one from the Return to Ravnica. And my personal favorite, Firefield Ogre, because I think he might be the only one with blue in the mana cost. He is Grixis and 1, and he has First Strike and Unearth.
Wow.
Wow, you got devastatingly close for that one. And also, the fact that you fucking just out of the blue got Reckless Ogre and Reckless Brute. Like, that deserves a match. So, keeping on that same theme of creature types, there are, again, a staggering 86 creatures in Magic with a creature type Fairy, because everybody knows that fairies are going to be huge in Eldraine. There are 86 creatures with a creature type Fairy in Magic the Gathering. I want you to give me 5 of them.
Okay, so we got Fairy Miscreant.
Yep.
That's in one of the recent sets. Stupid modern one. Spell Stutter. Spell Stutter Sprite.
Yeah, Spell Searcher is definitely a fairy. Okay.
So is this specifically creatures?
Creatures.
Okay. Vendilion Click. Duh.
Yep, nailed it.
Pestermite.
Yeah, he is definitely a fairy.
Trying to think of all the modern playable.
I mean, you only have to get one more.
They don't have to be modern playable.
Fucking Glenalendra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Archmage. Oh, wait. Is Glenalendra Archmage a fairy?
I think you might have to double check that.
Yeah, Glenalendra Archmage is a fairy.
she's a
You
fairy.
nailed it.
Woo!
Here's some ones that are Una.
Yeah, Queen of the Fae.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out the Fae are fairies.
Did you say misbind click?
Mistbind Click is also a fairy.
Can't believe I missed Una.
Speaking of clicks, Puppeteer Click.
Fairy seer, fairy the artifact one.
Go ahead, flex your fairy muscles, Matt. Everybody thinks you're very cool.
Machinist or
Mechanist.
yeah, that one. Cloud of Fairies. I'm missing the fucking important one.
Fairy Macabre.
Is that the black one? Fairy.
That's the black one that you could sacrifice and exile, or you discard it from your hand.
Yeah,
and
exile.
too.
Yeah,
Yep, I like that card.
I'd have to think more. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Continue with the
also,
game.
A Layla, artful provocator. She's the commander, man. Come on.
I think Bitter Blossom actually has a fairy subtype.
I think it's subtype fairy. I think you're right. Tribal subtype.
Right.
So this one I built in because I initially wanted to make the back half of this episode a game show style thing, but I couldn't think of enough questions, and also I was too lazy. But one of the questions was I narrowed it down. There are 17 evergreen keyword abilities that can be on creatures in Magic. I'm going to be a little bit greedy on this one. I want you to name me 10 evergreen keywords.
All right, 10 evergreen.
And I guess before you start, we could explain what an evergreen keyword is. It is a keyword ability that can be printed on a creature in any set.
Okay, so Scry, because they just added that to the evergreen
Scry is one.
mechanics. So Scry, Trample, Haste, Flying, Death Touch,
You're doing great.
Reach. Oh man, it starts to first strike, double strike,
2 more.
Oh my goodness. Flying, touch, lifelink,
Nailed it.
and I'm thinking of stupid ones like Forest Walk. That's not fucking evergreen. Oh, one more for the win. I really wish I would have kept track of the ones I already said.
Yeah, me too.
Vigilance. Boom.
Yeah, I don't think you said that one.
Boom. Got him, coach.
Other ones that I don't think you said, Regenerate,
Defender,
Defender,
Menace.
Flying.
He
I
said
don't know.
flying.
Is Regenerate still evergreen?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Hexproof.
Hexproof is one.
I really thought you were going to get first strike and double strike.
I was trying to go
'cause
through all
that
the colors
that
in
was
my
like
head.
the first ones that came to my brain, and you were just slacking on those ones, and then you got him. I was like, okay, now he's off to the races.
Yeah, I was like, okay, what does white do?
I'm pretty sure
Wins
Regenerate's
games.
not one anymore.
What's that?
I don't think Regenerate is one anymore.
On the
I
list?
thought they were trying to get away from that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Regenerate's no longer.
Well, if it's not, then it doesn't matter because you got it. So the next one, I think I tried to tie this in with the episode because we were talking about Brawl, and Brawl is similar to Commander, and Commander plays these cards.
All right, it's a Stretch Armstrong, but let's go.
I mean, a lot of the cards that I think you're going to name are probably Commander cards, so it works out.
All right.
But the next one, there are 21 artifacts in Magic that have the 3 mana cost, and they can add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool.
Okay, so mana rocks that are specifically 3 mana cost?
Yes. But don't pigeonhole yourself with just mana rocks, because there could be some other things that you have to do to add this mana.
3.
Yeah, 3 cost artifacts that can add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. There are 21 of them. I'm going to say 6 of them. Go.
So there's the banner cycle. So
Oh,
Sultai.
those don't add any color, though.
Oh, so this is any color, not
It has
specific.
to add any color of mana.
Wow. Okay, this is gonna be a lot harder.
I think once you think of the obvious ones, I think there are 4 Commander obvious ones that you're going to get.
I don't know why I'm thinking of those stupid. In In Conspiracy, the Opaline Unicorn.
Yep.
There's the vehicle that just came out. What's that? Manolith.
Yep.
What's the fucking vehicle?
Honestly, if you get the vehicle, I will be fucking it. Because that is not what I thought about when I thought of this category.
Something like a stockade or caravan or...
You were so fucking close.
Son of a bitch. I remember I saw that card and I was like, oh, sweet. Like, I'm just going to put that in a lot of my commander decks because it can also be a creature.
Yeah, because fuck it, why not?
But the Cultivator's Caravan.
Holy shit, you fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. You need 3 more. Oh my god, and I can't believe you didn't get the 3 that I'm immediately thought of.
The 3 easy ones.
There's the indestructible one. Dark Steel Ingot.
Nailed it. 2 more.
Chromatic Lantern.
Yep.
Do I get a phone a friend or something?
Oh, no, not with this one. Not that you're this
Oh, no.
You got this. Come on. Believe in yourself.
What the fuck? I know there's a stupid... There's one that my co-host always plays, and I always think he's cheating because I can never remember what the fucking card does.
I know exactly which one you're talking about, too, because it's so stupid.
I fucking hate it. It's a relic of... No, something
Oh, come
relic.
on, I know you have it.
Something relic. Coalition relic.
You nailed it, yes!
Got him.
Yes!
Okay.
How the fuck
Yeah,
did
that
you not
one
get
was a
Commander
nail biter.
Sphere?
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. The commander.
You
Like
got it.
literally the fucking card that was made.
Yeah,
originally
Commander
for
Sphere I thought
Commander.
was an obvious. Also, Alloy Mirror.
Alloy Mirror.
He's the original fucking unicorn that you named. The Opaline unicorn.
Oh, okay.
He's the OG one. And then there were also some and when I said don't think just immediately tap it, because like Phyrexian Altar, sack a creature out of mana of any color.
Oh, okay.
That was in there.
Scuttlemutt's in.
Scuttlemutt's in there. That was another one. Oh, there was a bunch of really good commander cards in here.
Right.
Wow, you got it. You are on your way to the W.
I got the weird ones, not the easy ass ones.
I love how, you were just like, you know what? I don't actually care.
The only reason I know about the unicorn is we have a conspiracy cube with cards from Conspiracy 1 and 2, and I always draft that card whenever I see it.
Okay, so the next one, this is do or die right here. This is for the very first victory in Knowledge Pool, or you're just joining Matt in the halls of shame.
Wait, did you say I had to get 3 out of 5 or some shit?
Yes.
Okay.
And you got... Oh, wait, no, you won.
Yeah, you got the...
You did get the ogres. No, you missed
No,
one.
you didn't get the...
You got the fairies.
Got the fairies, got the
Oh,
rocks.
so you won. So this is just gravy here. This is just rubbing.
All right, let's do this.
The last one is...
I wish I got these easy fucking ones.
Oh, boo-hoo.
He's throwing you softballs left and right.
Listen, when you make the games, you
Fair
you
enough.
can complain. So the last one, there are 10 cards in Magic the Gathering with the keyword ability Living Weapon.
Oh,
I want 3 of them.
What? 3.
3.
I'll be lucky if I get 1.
Oh, come on, you have to get one. We just talked about it. That's the other tie-in to the episode.
There was one that I played in Vegas at the Modern Masters, one of those. And it's probably the only one I'm gonna fucking get. Is it white? No, it's not white.
I'll give you a hint. None of them have colors.
Sickle cell.
Very close.
Sickle slicer, sickle pickle.
Holy shit.
Was it slicer?
Sickle slicer was it. I can't believe you just fucking just threw it out there and just got it. Nice 2 for 3 you got there, bud.
I don't know any of the other ones, man. It's something I never.
Oh
never
my god!
played.
Yes, you fucking do. You have just one more.
Living weapon. Oh shit!
For those of you out there, Living Weapon is an ability that is on equipment that says whenever this equipment enters the battlefield, put a 0/0 black germ creature token onto the battlefield and attach this equipment to it.
Oh, fucking Batterskull.
There you
Nailed it.
go.
That's the one.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was the
Jeez.
one. That was
Yep.
the tie into the episode. That was the one that is themey to the episode.
There's one that came in, I think the Commander Precon, but I took it out immediately. Oh, fuck.
I know which one you're talking about because I love this.
There's more than one.
I played this card in a mill deck.
Yeah, it's like how many creatures are in the graveyard or something. I'm not gonna get it. It came in the Mirren Precon, but I'm not gonna get it because I took it out. I'm tapping. I'm
You're
tapping
talking
for
about
the audience.
Bone Hoarder.
Yeah,
Bone Horde.
Hoarder.
can't believe you didn't get the best one-drop creature ever.
Oh, shut your mouth.
Flare Husk.
Flare Husk, baby.
Player Hut.
Yeah, that
Mort-
card is actually kind of sweet.
Mortar.
Mortar
Mortar
Pod.
Mortar
Yeah.
Pod. Yep.
There's one that equips with life.
Yes, there is the
Lash
Lash
whip or something.
or Lash Width.
Lash.
Lash Wraith.
Yeah,
I
right.
thought it was
there you
Lash
go. Yeah.
whip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
'cause
yeah, the
it's,
4-mana
Phyrexian.
one, and equip creature gets a +1/+1 for swamp you control, and the equip cost is 2 Phyrexian black mana.
Wasn't that in the Mono Commander cycle?
Yes, the Planeswalker one, right?
Yeah, a couple of these were in the Commander's.
Yeah, like the Scythe Claw one. Yeah, wow.
Oh, that's the one that fucking hits hard.
Yeah, that yeah, whenever it deals damage to a player, that player loses half of their life.
And then there's a reach one.
We're just gonna name all of them.
I don't know the name of it. I just know it gives reach.
You're thinking of Strandwalker.
Sure, that one.
That is the one that gives reach. I think it's the only one out of the 10 that gives reach.
Well, they all do something different. Some of them are real bad. Let's be honest, most of them are real bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna say all of them, but Batterskull are probably not great.
Yeah, Batterskull's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, he nasty. Well, Cory, look at you.
Undefeated.
Flexing your fucking muscles.
I mean, what can I say? I just cheat. What if I just cheated the whole time?
He actually went on Scryfall. Typed in all of these. I'm just like, oh, I'm just going to name these random ones.
Well, I'm definitely not going on the Gatherer because I don't know how to use that fucking thing.
Oh, you don't
No
know how to
one-
use... Yeah,
no one
Scryfall
knows
takes
how to
the
use
fucking big brain,
Gatherer.
like... Oh, I love it. Well, Cory, as is tradition around here for the winner, you get the shout out for the week.
The shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to Magic and Hash. No, I'm just joking. They're a terrible podcast. Don't listen to them. You know what? Off the top of my head, I'm just going to go with EDH Rec. I'm not sure if you guys have given a shout out to them before.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's an amazing website. It helps build commander decks. Like when I build decks, I like to have my own idea. But sometimes I have trouble filling in those last like 10 slots with some Themey cards, you know. And
The goddamn Themey cards.
I
get
am
ya.
going to have to somehow work Themey into the title of this episode.
so when I need help filling out those extra slots, or just I need another sack outlet or whatever it is, I can go to EDH Rec and they usually help me fill in. And they also have a podcast that I've been listening to.
Yeah, their podcast is great.
Yeah, and it's edited by Loader, which is a cool guy.
Yeah, shout out to Ken, the man, the myth, the legend, Ken.
Yeah, amazing guy.
Yeah,
And,
Ken is Norn.
Yeah, double shout out. Fuck it, Kennish Norn and EDH Rec.
Yeah,
This is
Loader
probably
on
the one
Twitter
episode where we
and
haven't given out like
at
7
EDH Rec
shout-outs.
on Twitter is going to be the shout outs for the. Yeah, Ken's the man.
Yeah, whenever I stream, which is very rarely, he always stops by and always, is just, a part of the conversation in the chat.
Fuck
He's awesome.
Yeah, and Ken plays skateboard, so I
He
can always
does play
come-
skateboard.
He plays skateboard. Fuck off.
Listen, it's just it's our little wooden toy. Let us keep our youth, dude. Don't fucking shit on us.
Have a better youth, you fucks.
We can't. We didn't have dads or
You goddamn
a family
degens.
around, so we had to play skateboard instead. Well, guys, that was a hell of an episode. I don't know if any of it was being able to follow, but it was something.
I mean, that's what I expect when I come on here, or any podcast really, is just, we just talk
Just
about
full
whatever.
derailment.
Yeah. You just enjoy the derailment. You don't try and control it.
Well, you keep it themey.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
keep it
gotta-
themey.
If you don't fucking put Themey, things can get a little steamy.
Okay, I found it. Keeping it themey is going to be the name of the episode. Oh, jeez. Fucking Christ. Well, oh, that's another one in the books, I guess.
We fucking did it, boys.
So, if if you want to follow Fetch and Shock on Twitter, you can find us at fetch_shock. If you want to follow me, Tyler, you can find me at Basic Landbin. If you want to follow Matt, he is at It's Bop. And if you want to follow Cory, our third member and our blood brother in podcasting, you can follow him at Knife City.
That is knife_city.
Knife_city. Yeah,
because we are old in the AOL Instant Messenger generation.
Yeah, because we just straight up ported our AIM names to Twitter.
Yep.
So yeah, go check us out. We have things, I guess.
You guys have videos now, right?
We do have videos now. I think I'm going to stream next Monday. I might do some Legacy because I need to prep for SEG Syracuse. That is 2 weekends from now that me and Matt are going to be attending.
I'm playing some hot garbage. It's going to be glorious.
Oh, that's the one that they voted on?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
Which one won again?
The fucking Birthing Pod Brew.
Nice.
So, Matt, you need to finish that deck so I can put it on Twitter so people can laugh at you.
Until I fucking curb stomp a bunch of nerds.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll either see you in top 8 or at the side event tables after round 3. It's one of the two.
Playing vintage or something.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish that Puppers deck you were talking about?
Okay, so here's the thing with that. Modern has changed dramatically since I built that deck list, and I need to change the deck around because I tried to record some games with it initially, but I was also trying to work out the renting thing with Card Hoarder. If you're listening, I want to make content on the internet, so give me free money.
Give me shit.
Yeah. So I need to make a deck that instead of beating Hogak, the sideboard is geared to beating not Hogak. So that got delayed a little bit because Modern got a little shake up, but I am still working on the dog-themed Modern deck.
Nice. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's especially dumb and not good. So
It's all the puppers.
yeah, I mean,
He tried to make a fucking dog deck without Huntmaster of the Fells in,
Amateur.
right?
listen,
Bush
and
League.
that's because I excluded Huntmaster for like all of the other good boys in Magic, like the green-white good. Like Huntmaster, he doesn't look like a good boy. He looks like a bad boy.
Maybe he just needs his belly rubbed.
Oh, you're right. They're all good boys, and that is the moral of the story. Fucking Christ. Well, that's a note to end it.
This episode was brought to you by G for Good Boys.
G, yeah. The letter G for Varga boys.
Yep, I quit.
God,
On that note, I quit.
All right, fucking. We'll see you next week, nerds.
All right, peace.
Peace. Later.